The first day was a blur of exhaustion and fear. I had just gotten off the bus from New Jersey, dragging all my belongings behind me. I had no money. My phone was still on, but I didn't know for how long. All I had was an address, the Franklin Women's Intake Shelter in the Bronx. This is about my first week in the shelter. My feet were killing me. In my opinion, there are way too many unnecessary hills in the Bronx. I was nervous, overwhelmed, and unsure of what to expect. Before I made the decision to go, I had spoke to Lisa, a woman that I met from TikTok. I had watched several of her videos on TikTok. The way she spoke about the shelter system made me feel like maybe, just maybe, there was help for someone like me. Still, doubt crept in. What if they said no? What if I had nowhere to go after all? But I had nothing else, no backup plan, no one to turn to. So here we go. I walked for what felt like forever before finally reaching the building. Once inside, I waited in the lobby for hours. It wasn't much of a lobby, just a single bench across from a security desk, surrounded by what felt like 20 cops. Eventually, it was my turn to go through the intake process. I had to place my bags on a conveyor belt to be scanned. They wanded me down and opened all my bags, going through my belongings and throwing away whatever they deemed not allowed. Then they assigned me a bed on the 3rd floor. There's no elevator. And did I mention I was dog-tired? The mattress was the thinnest I'd ever seen. You could feel the springs poking through, but I didn't care. I was grateful to have a place, any place, to lay down. The dorm had about 14 beds and, thankfully, its own bathroom. It wasn't much, but it was something. And in that moment, something was enough. Shower time and surprises. Time for bed meant time for the showers on the 4th floor. What about the bathroom in the dorm, you ask? Ha, that's just a toilet and a sink. If you want to wash the day off of you, you've got to hike up a flight to the communal shower room. When you get there, they hand you the basics: a bar of soap, a washcloth, deodorant, toothpaste, a toothbrush, flip-flops, and a towel. Now listen, I was truly grateful for those toiletries. The washcloth and towel were lifesavers. But let me tell you, that towel, rougher than a breakup text. You could exfoliate an entire layer of skin just drying off. I made a mental note: replace this as soon as I can. And if you're shy about being naked around other women, you get over it real quick, or you stay funky. Some women choose the latter. No judgment, just facts. After I figured out the shower room situation and got back to the dorm, I met the rest of the ladies, most of whom had been out during the day. That's when I realized just how wrong I had been. Whatever idea I had about what kind of women end up in shelters, it was dead wrong. There's this myth that shelters are filled with drug addicts and derelicts. The truth is, yes, there are some women struggling with addiction, but there are also women with degrees, women who've worked their whole lives, women with families, women like me. And honestly, if we're keeping it real, there are addicts in your church, at your job, and probably living across the hall from you too. Anyway, I put on the only clean clothes I had, a pair of sweats, put my things in the locker, and used the combination lock they gave me to secure it, even though I was exhausted, anxious, scared, and certain I wouldn't sleep a wink. I slept like a log. Day 2, learning the system. Day 2 is all about figuring things out. The meal schedule, what's edible, and what'll send you straight to the toilet. You meet with counselors, medical staff, and caseworkers. One after another, asking questions, taking down your entire life story, where you've been, what you've lost, what you need. You try to make sense of it all. Who can I trust? What are the next steps? What is the process here? Go here, sit there, wait over here. Repeat. Uncertainty hangs in the air like a fragrance, thick, lingering, and hard to ignore. You start noticing the different energies around you. The cliques form fast. The comedians, making the best of it with laughter. The gossips, who know everyone's business before it happens. The borrowers, you got $1, becomes a chorus. The nosy Nancys, in your face and in your locker if you let them. You make a mental note to keep your head down and mind your business. Stay away from the drama. And yes, there's drama. Put a group of women together, add poverty, stress, fear, and a system that barely functions. What you get is homemade drama, ready to boil over at any minute. After dinner, the nighttime routine is more or less the same as the night before. Shower, secure your things, and wind down. Except tonight, there's a skirmish over stolen lotion. A whole lot of bitch this and who do you think you are? Voices rise, security steps in, then quiet returns. Well, as quiet as it gets in a room with 14 beds. You learn quickly. Everything here moves fast and slow at the same time. You better keep your wits about you. Day 3, laundry and library. By day 3, you're tired of washing your underwear in the sink every night. So you ask around, what's the laundry situation in this place? Turns out there is a laundry room. You're allowed 1 load a day. They give you 1 little cup of detergent, just enough. You're not allowed to bring your own detergent. Don't ask why. Some rules here don't make sense, and asking will only frustrate you. You figure one load a day isn't too bad. So you do your load, make a mental note to do another one tomorrow, and move on. After laundry and breakfast, you venture out, you find a library, and just like that, you exhale. The library becomes your sanctuary. It's the one place in the world where you've always felt safe, quiet, comfortable, familiar. You stay there for hours, reading, thinking, reclaiming a small piece of yourself. Later, you walk the neighborhood. The Bronx is bursting with food from every culture. The smells wrap around you like a warm hug you forgot you needed. Your pockets are empty, but your senses are full. You head back for dinner. Nothing you passed smelled like this, but you eat with a spirit of gratitude. Because truth be told, some people don't even have the chance to turn their nose up at a hot meal. You remind yourself to stay humble. The night starts out the same, but tonight a rumor is going around. Something dark, a grape, in the bathroom. Your first thought, that can't be real. Women don't grape women, right? Wrong. You try to shake it off, try not to spiral. You keep your routine, take a quick shower, but you keep your head on a swivel. You move fast, you stay alert. You're ready to throw hands if it comes to that. In this place, you learn real quick. Safety is a mindset, and survival is the priority. Day 4 and 5, lessons learned. By day 4, and definitely by 5, things start to settle into a rhythm. Not comfort, not ease, but rhythm. The days look a lot like day 3. Same breakfast, same sign-in routines, same clunky process. But you start learning lessons they don't teach you during intake. First lesson, to the staff, you are not a priority. You're a case number, a folder, a form to fill out and file away. Your success, not their concern. Your failure, not their responsibility. So you learn fast, you better make yourself a priority. Second lesson, they will answer questions, yes, but they won't tell you a thing if you don't ask. And if you don't even know what to ask, you're stuck. Your situation feels like a crisis. To them, it's just Tuesday. So you start listening. Really listening, you ask questions of everyone. And that's when you discover the truth. The residents know more than the staff because they live this 24/7. They've already been through the steps, or they're learning from someone who has. They have insight no pamphlet will ever give you. By the weekend, you found a rhythm and made a few connections in the dorm. There's Flo, young, fiery, and juggling college while trying to survive. She got kicked out by her sister's boyfriend. Her sister has 5 kids in a 2-bedroom, and the boyfriend lives there too. Flo's trying, but the odds are stacked. There's Ma, no one knows her real name. She's got to be in her 70s, maybe more. She's the peacekeeper. When voices rise and tempers flare, Ma gives you a look, and things settle down. Then there's Della, who works at a fast food joint. She's a closer, which means she comes in after curfew. Somehow, the staff lets her slide, and every night she brings in food, chicken, fries, shrimp. Outside food isn't allowed, but, well, special treatment is all I'll say. Several women in the dorm are in their 60s and 70s. Living proof that the shelter system doesn't discriminate by age. And then there's Leschel. She took a liking to me. Now listen, I don't care what team you play for. Love is love, do you? But don't assume I play for the same team just because we're in the same dorm. Leschel got a little too physical one night, tried to pass it off as just playing. I had to shut that down fast. Told her straight up, feel that muscle? Don't get it twisted. I'm not in the game, I'm not on the team, and I'm not interested in playing. Capish? She backed off. You learn quickly in the shelter. Boundaries matter. So does energy. And sometimes survival means making yourself very clear. The weekend, a pause in the chaos. The weekend arrives, and with it, a small mercy. No mandatory wake-up calls, no forced exits from the dorms. You can stay in bed all day if you choose. Many women do, seeking rest from the exhausting routines of the week. Sundays bring a different rhythm. The Bronx is dotted with churches, and many women head out in their best attire, seeking hope, help, or simply the comfort of community. The abundance of churches in impoverished urban areas is a topic that stirs many thoughts, but perhaps that's a conversation for another time. Dinner at the shelter on weekends is almost good, a notable improvement. As the weekend winds down, a sense of anticipation builds. We brace ourselves for the return to the weekday dance of chaos and confusion, clinging to the hope that amidst the disorder, we might stumble upon progress. Closing reflections. Week 1. 7 days of adjustment, observation, survival. 7 days of realizing that hope doesn't always look like sunshine. Sometimes it looks like a shared granola bar, a locked locker, or a few hours of uninterrupted sleep. I came in with bags, no money, and a phone that might not last the week. I leave week 1 with bags under my eyes, questions still unanswered, but something else too. Clarity. This place isn't soft. It isn't easy. It isn't built for your comfort, but it will teach you. It will strip away every illusion you had about who's deserving, who's broken, and who's trying. And if you're paying attention, it will rebuild you piece by piece into someone sharper, louder, stronger. Because in here, if you don't advocate for yourself, no one else will. If you don't protect your peace, someone will come for it. If you don't believe in something, anything, you might lose the little bit of self you brought in with you. But still, there is community, there is resilience. There are women who fight for tomorrow even when today is barely holding together. So here's what I know after 1 week in the shelter. The system may not see you, but you better see yourself. Because your survival, your healing, your future, that's your job. And you are more than qualified.